I'm Brian Kaas. I head up the TruStage Ventures. We're the strategic venture capital fund of TruStage. I think we're in Vegas. Next year, it's a Saturday. Maybe we can have like a drinking game where every time we hear the word AI, collaboration, or fintech, we take a drink. How about that? It'll kind of liven up this. Oh, there we go. It'll liven up this last session. I think after Patrick's last presentation there, I'd be stumbling off the stage because I think he mentioned AI about 12 times. So I'm here just to provide a little bit of a teaser on an event that we're going to be presenting at Money 2020 off the record, and it really is around CUSOs, and it's moving fintechs into becoming CUSOs. I know we have a few startup companies here. Raise your hands. Do we have? There we go. Hey, I know a couple of you all. Are you CUSOs? Anybody a fintech that's not a CUSO? All right. So, we have one here. All right. Everybody in this audience, I get two. Everyone in this room knows, I think, very well what a CUSO is. But when you get into the broader fintech landscape and talk to others outside the industry, it's a totally foreign word. And we talked a lot today about collaboration. I think that is more important today than it ever has been for the industry. Again, I joke about the number of times AI has been thrown out here. Nick and Chairman Haltman talked about stablecoin. I think we have the convergence of two massive technology shifts that are going to hit the industry at the same time. And I think that pace of change over the next decade is going to be difficult for many of us to even predict. And I think the need for credit unions to collaborate will be more important than ever. And I think it's collaboration with fintech companies. We have invested over $400 million over the last decade. I think we've facilitated thousands of credit union partnerships with those fintechs, and we're now seeing some of our companies, convert into a CUSO. I think it's a reflection of how they want to really become part of that credit union ecosystem. So we'll talk a little bit on Tuesday about what that journey looks like. What does it take to become a CUSO? What is a CUSO? Because I think what we want to do is bring the best and brightest fintechs into the credit union system so that we can power with those companies to help us get through just the level of change that is on the very near-term horizon. I don't know if anybody saw, there was an article in the Wall Street Journal about 2 weeks ago. A couple of little-known banks launched a consortium. Anyone hear about that? Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Citi, Barclays, all formed a consortium around digital assets. So what we're seeing is even the biggest banks starting to create consortiums. It creates strange bedfellows, but this is kind of what we're seeing. I guess they're going to call themselves BSOs, which might be fitting. But if you are going to be here for Money 2020, I encourage you to come to the off-the-record stage. It's going to be a very candid discussion around CUSOs and that power of collaboration. If you're a fintech company, again, come there and learn about the power of the credit union system. It's really going to be critically important for all of us. The last thing I'll maybe say about collaboration, I do think it's vitally important. I've been working and talking to credit unions again for over a decade on this topic. The one thing I think the industry needs to get better at, though, is just the speed. I think collaboration is very powerful, but it can also cause the industry to move slower than really it can afford to. Because I think, again, this pace of change is lightning fast right now. I've been in fintech for over a decade, especially what we're seeing with AI and stablecoin. It's moving at again, a blistering pace. So let's move fast, let's collaborate, and let's do it together. Thank you.